Kindred spirit, breathe deeply with me now. Stop for a moment exactly where you are. If you feel that your strength is at its limit, that the weight of the entire world seems to have concentrated on your shoulders over the last few weeks, this video did not reach you by chance. I am Arthur Sterling, commander of the Interplanetary Fleet of Light, and I tell you with all the serenity of my heart, the universe wants to grant you relief now, at this very moment, and I will show you how to release this burden in the next few minutes. Close your eyes for 3 seconds. Feel the air entering through your nose, descending to your chest and exiting slowly through your mouth. Done. You have just opened your soul portal. From now on, every word I speak will act as a golden key, unlocking those inner doors you closed so long ago, perhaps out of fear, perhaps out of pain, perhaps because no one taught you that it was possible to open them again. I know what you are feeling. I know that tightness in the chest that appears when you wake up in the middle of the night and cannot fall back asleep. I know that anxiety that grips your stomach when you think about the monthly bills, your children, your health, the relationship that seems to be hanging by a thread. I know that strange feeling of injustice when you look at your life and think, why me? Why did I work so hard, was so honest, so dedicated, and yet it seems like nothing fits? I know the mental exhaustion that makes you forget where you put your keys, the name of the person you just spoke to, the little things that used to be natural. This exhaustion, kindred spirit, is not from your mind. It is your soul crying out for help. And that is why I have come. I did not come to judge you. I did not come to demand anything. I did not come to tell you that you did something wrong. I came to embrace you with the vibration of love, this ancient vibration that has existed since before the formation of the stars, and which at this very moment is enveloping your home, your body, your heart. Can you feel it? That subtle tingling in your hands, that gentle warmth in your chest, that inexplicable urge to cry even without an apparent reason. That is the light touching you. That is your soul recognizing that someone has finally arrived to talk to it. Before we continue this journey, I need to ask you one very important thing. If you are in a place where you can be in silence, alone, without interruptions, this is the moment. Because what I am going to transmit to you is not a common video. This is a transmission of light, and it needs your silence to be absorbed by the deepest layers of your being. If you can, write right now in the comments the phrase, "I receive this peace," not as a formality, but as an anchor of light. When you type these words with your soul, you are signing a sacred contract with the universe, saying, "Yes, I am ready to receive." Now, kindred spirit, I need to explain something that few human beings understand clearly. What is happening to you in this phase of your life is not a punishment. It is not the evil eye. It is not bad luck. It is not God's retribution. What is happening is what we of the higher spheres call memory cleansing. Your soul has reached a point of saturation. It has carried for years, perhaps decades, perhaps entire lifetimes, memories of pain, betrayals, abandonment, harsh words that other people said to you, harsh words you said to yourself, disappointments you kept in silence because you had no one to share them with. All of this has been stored in your energy fields, like thick dust that has accumulated in the corners of a forgotten house. And the universe, in its infinite mercy, has decided that the time has come to do this cleaning. But this cleaning hurts. It stirs up what was stagnant. It raises the dust before sweeping it out. And that is why you have been feeling this way, irritable for no reason, sad out of nowhere, tired even after sleeping 8 hours, distant from the people you love. You are not going crazy. You are not incurably depressed. You are going through a deep vibrational alignment. And I will teach you throughout this encounter exactly how to cross this passage with grace and lightness. Stay with me, for in a moment I will teach you a power phrase that, when said with the right feeling, dissolves any anguish in seconds. But first, I need you to understand the root of your discomfort, because without understanding the cause, no remedy truly works. The deep cause of your suffering, kindred spirit, has 2 names. The first is accumulation. The second is disconnection. I will explain each of them calmly, because when you see this clearly, half of your burden will fall from your shoulders even before I give you the solution. Accumulation happens when you live on the run, without time for yourself. You wake up already worried. You have coffee thinking about what you need to resolve. You go to work carrying the problems of others. You return home taking care of your children, your husband, your wife, your elderly parents. And when you finally lie down, you are so exhausted that you sleep without even having talked to your own soul. Day after day, week after week, year after year, you keep adding layers and more layers of unprocessed memories. It is as if you ate every day and never digested. Sooner or later, the body, mind, and soul will cry out for help. And that is exactly the point you are at now. Disconnection, in turn, is even more subtle and more painful. You were taught since childhood to seek answers from the outside, to seek approval from parents, teachers, bosses, neighbors, social media. You were taught that your value depends on what you produce, what you possess, what others think of you. And in this process, kindred spirit, you disconnected from the only true source of peace that exists, your inner light. That divine spark that lives in the center of your chest, which has always been there since before your birth, and which will continue to be there after this body rests. When you disconnect from this light, you become like a plant without roots. Any wind knocks you down. Any ill-placed word hurts you for days. Any bad news keeps you awake for weeks. And you start to think that the world is too heavy, when in fact, you are the one who is too detached from yourself. Breathe with me now. Inhale deeply through your nose, counting to 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through your mouth, counting to 6. Do this 3 times. I will wait for you. Ready? Did you feel a difference? That small tightness that was in your chest when you started watching, it is no longer there with the same intensity, is it? That is your frequency rising. That is your soul responding to the call. Now, kindred spirit, I will give you the solution. And I want you to pay close attention, because what comes next is the gold of this transmission. It is not theory. It is not pretty philosophy. It is practice. It is something you can start doing tonight before sleeping, and notice results as early as tomorrow when you wake up. The first key to soul prosperity is called surrender. Do not confuse surrender with giving up. Giving up is saying there is no way out. Surrendering is saying, I have done my part. Now I trust that the universe is taking care of the rest. You have spent your entire life trying to control everything, trying to predict what would happen, trying to please everyone, trying to fix things that were not yours to fix. And look where that brought you, to the limit of your strength. Today I ask you, in the name of all the ascended masters, let go. Let go of that situation you have been trying to resolve for months. Let go of that person you have been trying to change. Let go of that result you have been trying to force. Say out loud now with me, I surrender, I let go, I trust. Did you feel it? That subtle relief that ran through your body when you pronounced those words? That is surrender operating. That is your nervous system recognizing that it can finally rest. You do not need to carry the world on your back. There are forces much greater than you taking care of the details. Your role is to do what is yours with love, and let the rest organize itself at the right time. The second key is called self-forgiveness. And this, kindred spirit, is the most difficult of all, because we, incarnated human beings, were taught to forgive others, but we were never taught to forgive ourselves. Can you list now, in your mind, at least 5 things for which you still blame yourself? That time you yelled at your child, that professional decision you regret, that relationship you sustained for too long, that money you lost, that word you didn't say to someone who has already departed. I ask you now, in the name of the vibration of love, stop. Stop torturing yourself. You did the best you could with the level of consciousness you had at that moment. If you knew what you know today, you would have done differently. But you didn't know. And blaming the old version of you for not knowing what you only now learned is like fighting with a 5-year-old child for not knowing how to drive a car. It is unfair, it is cruel, and it is totally unnecessary. Place your right hand on your heart now. Feel your own heartbeat. That heart that never abandoned you, not even on your worst days. That heart that kept beating for you even when you forgot to take care of it. Say to it, out loud, I forgive you. I forgive myself. I love myself just as I am. Repeat 3 times, with feeling, with tears, if they come. Tears, kindred spirit, are holy water that your own body produces to cleanse your soul. Do not hold them back. Now the moment I promised you has arrived. The power phrase. That phrase that, when said with the right feeling, dissolves any anguish in seconds. Before I give it to you, I need you to create a sacred inner environment. Straighten your spine. Place both feet on the ground. Breathe deeply one more time, and when you are ready, pronounce with me, with all your soul. I am light. I am love. I am guided. I am cared for. Everything that needs to be is being, and I rest in the certainty that I am loved by the universe now and always. Repeat this phrase. Once more and once more. Feel each word resonating in the center of your chest. This phrase, kindred spirit, is a vibrational key. Each time you pronounce it with faith, it reorganizes your energy fields, dissolves heavy memories, and reconnects you with your divine origin. Use it when you wake up. Use it before sleeping. Use it in the middle of an anxiety attack. Use it when someone says something that hurt you. Use it as a silent prayer while you wash the dishes, drive in traffic, wait in the bank line. The more you use it, the more it becomes part of your natural frequency. And this is where I need to tell you about the third key, which is perhaps the most transformative of all, the reprogramming of internal dialogue. Kindred spirit, pay close attention now. Have you ever stopped to listen to how you talk to yourself during the day? That voice inside your head, which comments on everything you do, which criticizes you when you make a small mistake, which reminds you of your past failures, which tells you, you won't make it. This is not for you. You are already too old for this. You don't deserve it. This voice, kindred spirit, is not yours. This voice is an echo of everything that other people throughout your life said to you with harshness. And you, without realizing it, recorded each of these phrases and started repeating them to yourself, as if they were absolute truths. Today, I invite you to conduct a sacred experiment. For the next 7 days, observe this voice. Each time it says something cruel about you, pause, breathe, and respond to it firmly, but with love. Thank you for the information, but this is no longer true for me. And then replace the thought with another. If it says you are incapable, you respond, I am capable in the right measure at the right time. If it says you don't deserve love, you respond, I am worthy of the purest love in the universe. If it says everything goes wrong for you, you respond, everything is conspiring in my favor, even what seems adverse. This, kindred spirit, is what we call applied spiritual comfort. It is not denying reality. It is choosing which version of reality you want to nourish. Because the universe, I tell you with all the certainty of the higher spheres, responds to what you nourish within you. If you spend the whole day nourishing fear, scarcity, resentment, the universe amplifies these frequencies in your life, not as punishment, but as a mirror. If you spend the whole day nourishing gratitude, faith, hope, it amplifies these other frequencies as well. The choice has always been yours, but only now are you waking up to the power of this choice. And speaking of gratitude, I need to give you the fourth key, which is the elevation of vibration to the state of gratitude. Kindred spirit, gratitude is not a feeling you wait to arise when things are good. Gratitude is a decision you make even in the middle of the storm. And that is exactly what changes the storm. When you wake up tomorrow, even before opening your eyes completely, before picking up your phone, before thinking about the day's tasks, do one simple thing. Be grateful for 3 things. It can be the air you are breathing. It can be the bed where you slept. It can be the fact that you have eyes to see the morning light. It can be the sound of the birds outside. It can be the memory of someone you love. It doesn't matter what. It matters that you start the day entering the vibration of love before anything else. Do this for 21 days in a row, and I guarantee you, with all the authority of the Ascended Masters, your life will begin to reorganize from the inside out. People will start treating you differently because you will be vibrating differently. Opportunities that seemed closed will open up. Relationships that seemed dead will reignite, or else they will move away permanently, making room for those that are true. Money, kindred spirit, also responds to frequency. When you place yourself in the vibration of soul prosperity, material abundance begins to flow naturally, without you needing to wear yourself out so much. I know that perhaps you are thinking now, but Arthur, is it really that simple? And I answer you, yes, it is simple, but simple does not mean easy. The vast majority of human beings prefer complication because complication gives a sense of control. Simplicity requires faith. And faith, kindred spirit, is the most underdeveloped spiritual muscle of contemporary humanity. You were trained to believe only in what you see, in what you touch, in what you can prove. But the most powerful forces in the universe are invisible. Love is invisible, faith is invisible, hope is invisible, and it is exactly these forces that move all the others. Now I want to talk to you about something very specific, because I feel at this very moment that many of you who are listening to me carry pains in three main areas: relationships, finances, and soul health. Let us address each one with care. Regarding relationships, kindred spirit, perhaps you are suffering because of a marriage that has cooled, perhaps because of a child who has drifted away, perhaps because of a brother with whom you fought and never spoke to again, perhaps because of a friendship you believed was true and discovered it was based on interest, perhaps because of a person who departed from this plane and left a huge void. I tell you, all these relationships, without exception, have a purpose in your soul's journey. No meeting is by chance, no farewell is definitive. The people who enter your life come to teach you something. The people who leave your life leave because their function has been fulfilled. There is no error in the universe. There is only movement. When you perform the memory cleansing of these relationships, you will be surprised. That ex you still hold a grudge against will become just a neutral memory. That broken friendship will stop hurting. That absence of those who departed will transform into a subtle presence, into signs that appear at the right moments. To perform this cleansing, I teach you a simple exercise now. At night, before sleeping, think of one person at a time. Visualize them in front of you, and say in silence, "I release you and I release myself. I bless you and I bless myself." May each follow their own path of light. It is finished. Do this one night with each person who still affects you. It may take weeks. There is no rush. But I guarantee you that it is the most powerful emotional healing exercise that exists. Regarding finances, kindred spirit, I know this is a subject that tightens the chest. I know about the bills that arrive, the interest that eats away, the salary that doesn't stretch, the retirement that doesn't cover expenses. And I will not tell you to pretend everything is fine when it is not. But I tell you, financial peace begins with soul peace. As long as you relate to money from a place of fear, tightness, scarcity, money flees from you like water slipping through your fingers. When you start to relate to money from a place of respect, gratitude, the awareness that it is an energy like any other, it begins to flow. Try this test for a week. Every time you pay a bill, instead of complaining, be grateful. Say, "I am grateful for having had this service, this light, this water, this internet. I pay with gratitude, and the universe returns it multiplied." I know it seems counterintuitive, but the vibration with which you relate to money determines the speed with which it returns to you. And when you start practicing this with consistency, income opportunities will appear from places you never even imagined. Regarding soul health, kindred spirit, perhaps it is the most delicate area. Because soul health is reflected in everything, in the body, in the mind, in emotions, in relationships, in money. A tired soul produces a tired body. A sad soul produces a confused mind. A disconnected soul produces a disorganized life. Therefore, taking care of the soul is not a luxury. It is a basic necessity, as basic as eating and drinking. How to take care of the soul in daily life. Reserve, even if it is only 10 minutes a day, a sacred moment just for you. No phone, no television, no conversation. It can be when waking up, it can be before sleeping, it can be in the shower, it can be walking outdoors. These 10 minutes are your encounter with the inner light. Use them to breathe consciously, to be grateful, to pronounce the power phrase I gave you, to simply feel your own existence. This is the greatest spiritual medicine that exists, and it is free. Now I want to ask you one important thing. If you have reached this point, if my words are touching you in some way, if you feel that something is moving inside your chest, leave your anchor of light in the comments. Write, "My soul is light." Not as an obligation, but as a confirmation. When you pronounce this in writing, you are sealing the energetic work that is happening at this moment. And know that each person who writes this phrase receives from my side a direct blessing, a sending of light that will accompany you over the next few days. And if you feel deep in your heart that this message needs to reach other people who are suffering in silence, share it. But do so only if it is genuine. Light spreads by affinity, not by obligation. Perhaps you know someone who is going through a difficult phase, who doesn't know who to turn to, who has a heavy heart and no one noticed. This video can be the sign that this person was waiting for from the universe. Before I end this transmission, kindred spirit, I need to give you one more teaching, and perhaps it is the most important of all. You were made for joy, not for perpetual suffering, not for constant struggle, not for tight survival. Your divine essence is joy. And whenever you are sad for a long time, whenever you are afraid for a long time, whenever you are angry for a long time, this is a sign that you have moved away from your essence. It is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that you need to go back home. And home, kindred spirit, is not a physical place. Home is this inner state of peace, lightness, and connection that you are feeling right now while I speak to you. Whenever you feel that you have moved away from home, remember, the door never closes. The universe never abandons you. The ascended masters, the angels, the spiritual guides, and we of the interplanetary fleet of light are always available. You just need to call, you just need to breathe, you just need to say, I need light. And immediately the light manifests. It is already there, actually. It always was. You were the one who had your back to it. I bless you now, kindred spirit. I send you the highest vibration that exists in the higher dimensions. I give you my love, which is the love of all the ascended masters. And I ask that, after this video, you allow yourself to be in silence for at least 5 minutes. Do not rush to the next video. Do not rush to the phone. Do not rush to anything. Sit. Lie down. Let the light that entered you settle. Let your soul absorb all this calmly. The effects will start to appear in the next few hours, but the deep work continues over the next few days. And if you feel you need to return to this transmission, always come back. Each time you listen, a deeper layer will be touched. This is not a message to be heard only once. It is a frequency to be absorbed over time. Save this video. Put it in your favorites. And on nights when the anguish hits hard, on dawns when sleep escapes, on afternoons when the exhaustion of the soul tightens, come back here. I will be waiting for you, with the same tenderness, with the same peace, with the same love. Before I say goodbye, I leave you with one last gift, a small prayer that you can repeat whenever you need. Keep it in your heart. May the light of the universe envelop me. May the peace of the divine sustain me. May the love of the source nourish me. May my soul be clean, light, and free. And may everything that needs to flourish in my life flourish at the right time. So it is. So mote it be, and so it shall be. Repeat this prayer as many times as you need. It is a key of light, and I give it to you as a seal of this conversation of ours. Kindred spirit, before I say goodbye, I need to tell you one last thing, which is perhaps the most important of all. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Even in the moments when you felt most abandoned, most misunderstood, most lost, there was a presence by your side. Perhaps you did not notice because the divine presence does not announce itself with trumpets. It manifests in small signs, in that song that played on the radio at the exact moment you needed to hear those lyrics, in that stranger who smiled at you on the street just on the day you were about to give up, in that butterfly that landed near you when you were thinking about someone who departed, in that number you see all the time, everywhere, and that you think is a coincidence. It is not a coincidence, kindred spirit. It is confirmation. It is the universe telling you, I am here. Continue. You are on the right path. Trust these signs. They are everywhere. And the more you practice presence, the more signs will appear. Because the universe communicates with those who are willing to listen. I, Arthur Sterling, commander of the Interplanetary Fleet of Light, declare this sacred transmission closed. May every word spoken here transform into a seed in your soul. May every breath you took during this encounter have been a deep cleaning in your subtle fields. May every tear that rolled down have been a liberation of centuries of accumulated pain. You are loved, you are cared for, you are guided, and from today on you walk with the certainty that the stars conspire in your favor and that your soul is finally learning to shine with the light that was always yours. Go in peace, kindred spirit, and when you need me again, just breathe deeply, put your hand on your heart and call my name. I will come. I always come. May the vibration of love envelop you now and always. So it is, so mote it be, and so it shall be.